And welcome everybody. It is Happy Good Friday. I hope everyone's having a blessed day. I've had an amazing day, an amazing week, and I have continued on my quest for the, not really a quest, I just like trying out different microphones, trying out different cameras, trying out different gear. It's just, I don't know, I just like it. And so that's what I do. I end up buying all this stuff. But I am trying to help a certain someone who's on a very limited budget start making videos again, or start even a live stream, right? And so I got a new mic, and I have an audio interface, and I have all the XLR cables and all this stuff. And that's initially what I bought it for, right? And it turned out to be one of those wow factors. And so I thought, well, I'll share it with you guys. So my son is in a big gaming community. I think there's 5 or 6 of them that are on a team or something. And he said they all use USB mics. Okay. Well, I've been around for a minute, right? And back in the day, a USB mic was horrible. I don't know if you guys remember these or not, but they were, you'd plug them into your old computer, and they would just have a very tinny sound to it. It did not sound like anything I would be interested in. But anyway, I get this new mic, plug it into the XLR, plug it into the audio interface, and it's horrible, okay? I spent 2 days trying to get the volumes right, get the pitch right. I mean, it was awful. Okay. So after 2 days, I'm like, this one's going back because this is horrible, right? And I like the AT2040. That's what I'm on right now, and I like it. And so this other mic it just couldn't compare, right? So I thought, while I had it, I would just go ahead and hook it up to the USB, because why not? And I have a preconceived negative opinion about USB microphones because of how they used to sound 30 years ago. Okay. Well, welcome to 2023, Sly. So anyway, I hooked this thing up to the USB, and my expectations are below zero. I know this is not going to sound good. Okay. And guess what? Lo and behold, it was amazing. It was one of those wow things. So I wanted to share it with you. Okay. But you need to clean your palette, because it sounds completely different than this mic. It sounds good in a good way, but it sounds completely different. So clean your ear palette. Okay. Hum to yourself or something. And I'm going to switch over to a USB mic, and we'll have some fun with this. Okay, so I think I am now, okay, now I'm on it. It just takes me a minute. Okay, I'll get there. So this is the Samson Q9U, and it is a USB / XLR mic. I have the box. Okay, I don't like to do unboxings because I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at opening boxes, and so I end up tearing them up and what have you. But as you can see, this hand, it is a XLR USB mic, and I think up here it says, over here it says USB mic. Honestly, I had really bad luck with it as an XLR, but as a USB, I think this thing sounds pretty good, right? And I know I'm talking a little funny tonight because apparently yesterday I thought my tongue was a piece of steak, and I bit into it really hard, and it's not good. So it is making me talk a little bit funny tonight. But so anyway, well, let's see who's here, and we will start off. Hey, Scott. Scott made it. Hi, Sly. Hi, Scott. How you doing, bud? And the birthday boy made it in. Happy birthday, Randy. Hello, everyone. And there's my Lewis. How you doing, bud? I kind of wanted to aim this towards you because I think this sounds pretty good, and you don't need an audio interface, right? So we'll come back to that. And there's my other Lewis. Hey, everyone. How you doing, Mr. Camera Junkie? I enjoyed your show. I think, was I driving? Because I don't think I watched it. I think I listened to it, so I must have been driving. But you always have the best information. I just love it. And there's Dr. Charles Richard. How you doing? He says, hi, Sly. How you doing, Charles? How is everything? Love those Disney World videos. Keep them coming. And there's Walter Fernandez saying, hi, Sly. Hi, Walter. How are you? I think you might be new. Are you new to our group? Or are you just in under a different name? But how you doing, bud? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. And there's Jim. Hi, Sly and y'all. Greetings from Sarasota, Florida. Sarasota, Florida. Okay. You must be on a work thing. Because I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think you live further north, maybe. I think. I could be wrong. But, so anyway, this mic is, like I said, when I tried to hook it up to the XLR and run it through the audio interface and everything, it just wasn't working for me, right? But I think as a USB mic, which apparently all the gamers use USB mics. And so I had a bunch of these 20-year-olds telling me how good the USB mics were. And I'm just going, yeah, no, I don't think so. I just, thanks, but no thanks type thing. This blew me away, right? I think this thing sounds really, really good. Now, when you hear it right after the AT2040, it's different, okay? But I think once your ears get adjusted and your brain gets adjusted to hearing this, it's an amazing mic, right? As a USB, okay? Can't really recommend it as an XLR, but as a USB, it's amazing. It has a couple of cool features that I really don't know enough about to speak to informatively, right? It has a couple of switches on it that will make either like the bass drop or go flat, or the high end go flat or I think drop. But the cool thing is it has a mute button, okay? So if you need to sneeze or you need to cough or whatever, you can just hit this little button and nobody can hear what you're saying, right? So I just think that was kind of cool. But you do have to remember to turn it back on. Okay. So there is kind of that. But Lewis, buddy, I know you have a phone and I know you have an M camera. Okay. So, I did that video a while back with the this little clip-on, it's a little wireless mic for your iPhone. They make them for an Android phone as well. $15, okay? And you can use your phone as a camera because they've got actually pretty good cameras on them. I'm like I said, I've been around a minute, so for me to use my phone as a camera is not as normal feeling as using a camera for a camera, okay? Now, my kids, they grab their phone and they take videos all the time, and they turn out great. And with that mic, you can actually have some pretty good audio, okay? So there is no reason for you not to be making videos. And this is a USB mic that I'm using right now. So you could even do a live stream, Lewis. Hello? But I'm just, I'm blown away by this. Charles says, need to change your diet to fish eating so you don't confuse your tongue for a piece of steak, right? I know. I bit down, and everybody's done it, right? But, oh my goodness, it hurts so bad. And then you walk around and you're going to talk funny for a little while, and So thankfully, your mouth is probably the fastest healing thing on your body. So it is getting better. Yesterday I really sounded like Mushmouth, so it was a good thing my live stream wasn't on Thursday. But and Jim is on vacation at your sister's. Okay, well that's fun. Sarasota, is that in the northern part of Florida? I literally have driven through and driven back lately. I mean, I haven't been, before that, I probably hadn't been to Florida in 40 years. Long time. So I think Sarasota is north. Not 100% sure, but possibly. And there's Peter. Welcome to all on a great Easter weekend. Yes, happy Friday, Peter. Happy Good Friday. It's Friday, but happy Good Friday. Yes. So I don't know if you all heard about the horrible Easter egg hunt. I believe it was in Ohio, where the parents just were out of control, right? I don't know what to say. It's just that was a very sad thing for parents to act that way. But we move on, and hopefully they will have no one next year, and the people will be a little better behaved. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, there was a bunch of it was set like it should have been set for the 2 and 3 year olds to go first, and then the 4 and 5 year olds got like a 10-minute head start, and then the older kids got to come in. And the parents of the 2 and 3 year olds and 4 and 5 year olds just were completely out of line, shoving kids, and it was just a bad thing. And that's not what Easter's all about. So, yeah, you have to say a prayer for those people, because for adults, for parents to act that way to other children really doesn't say a whole lot about our society, right? But yeah, I have been having a blast trying out new mics, and I'm kind of looking at getting some new lenses, but they wouldn't be for the live because they're I'd have to put the cameras like at my neighbor's house. So but I'm looking at getting some new lenses. And but how do you all think this mic sounds? I was just kind of blown away when I heard it, and I'm like, there is no way that's a USB mic, right? And you just go to your settings in your computer and adjust the volume. There is nothing else you set. You literally plug it in to the back of the mic, plug it into the computer, and boom, you're done. If you need it a little bit louder, you adjust the volume on the computer. If you need it a little bit softer, adjust the volume on your computer. There is no, setting all the limiter and the gain, and there's nothing, right? So to me, this is just a game changer for people who don't have a lot of money and want to go live. I think this sounds actually pretty amazing. And Charles says, no, I did not hear about the Easter egg hunt because every TV station is still talking about Trump's arrest. Yeah, well, that's probably bigger news than a bunch of kids getting shoved down, But it really touched my heart because I love children, and and I have a 3-year-old grandson. So if I probably would have gone to jail if somebody had shoved him down over an Easter egg, right? It's for the children. It's not for the adults. So, And hey, Carlos, how you doing, bud? USB mics are amazing these days, aren't they? The last time I used a USB mic was probably before 1990. So it was probably the 80s. And they were awful. I don't know. I know some of us in here are, my age. So you probably remember what the old USB mic sounded like. And I remember playing games back in the 80s. Yes, we did it back then too. We had, and the game pieces were rocks. But yes, we had games back then. And you would have a mic so you could talk to other players and what have you. But they were horrible the sound quality. You'd have these big old headphones, and it was just so much different than it is today. Now, my son uses a set of headphones that has the mic that you plug into it and comes across, so he doesn't have one sitting on his desk. He may in the very near future. I don't know if he's listening, but he may have this microphone in the very near future if he wants to up his game, right? So, yeah, and they're very, very, very affordable. Now, this one is kind of on the expensive side. It runs about $100 because it's touted as an XLR mic, okay? And weight-wise, it's extremely comparable to the AT2040. Size-wise, it's huge, right, in comparison. But I think the sound quality is there. And so Mr. Camera Junkie got me kind of hooked on this crisp audio because I know one night y'all could hear the train going by, and the train just went by again. And this crisp audio takes that train sound out. If my neighbors come by and want to audio bomb me, it takes their noise out, right? My neighbors love getting in the YouTube stuff, right? They love to photobomb when I'm outside, and if they see all the lights on, they'll come and stand at the window and say something. And it's kind of funny. Excuse me. But, yeah, and it has a mute button, right? So, back to the crisp audio. So, it takes out all that unwanted noise. Like, I've got my big computer running back there, and honestly, it's kind of loud, okay? The fan, it's got five fans in it, and so it does make a little bit of noise. But the crisp audio takes it all out. Now, on the AT2040, I don't like the crisp audio because it kind of mutes it down a little bit. But on this USB mic, it's fantastic, right? I think I'm very clear. If I'm not, you guys need to tell me. I can go back to the AT2040 if you prefer that one. But I think this sounds actually pretty good, and it works actually better with the crisp audio than without it. So I was super, super excited to see that. And they've got a lot of, I started researching USB mics because this one has impressed me so much, and you don't need an audio interface. It's just plug and play, right? So if you find one that works well with your voice, that might be the kicker. So I've been, because I kind of got a list from the guys who are gamers, and they use it for gaming. And apparently there is a Razer Siren that is supposed to be pretty amazing. And that one, I think that one's only $30, right? So I may test out a few more USBs. I'm not sure. I do like my XLR mics, and I do like all the gadgetry that comes with it. Just because I like gadgetry, okay? So, there is that. We all like, I think everybody in here likes gadgetry, right? And so, there is that. But it's amazing all the technology has advanced so far. And sometimes I feel like I'm being left behind. The kids are trying to get me to become a gamer, and I'm not sure I'm ready to do that again. But games have changed a lot in 40 years. The only thing you need to do with that mic is to enable the low pass filter, and the air conditioner, fan sounds, and trains will get muted. Okay, well that's with the USB mic or with the AT2040. I don't think the AT2040 has a low pass filter on it. I don't think it has anything on it, honestly. It does not. So I think you have to adjust everything in the software, right? But the so yes, are you talking about the low pass? This Samsung has, I think, that low pass filter, and I think it also has There's another one on the bottom. One moment. Well, I've got the cord tied down, so I can't look at it. But maybe it says on the box. If it does, it's nothing that I could read without my glasses. Thank you very much. But it does have 2 switches on it. So, yeah. Hey, there's Suey. Hey, Sly sounds great. 5 by 5. Happy Easter. 5 by 5. 5 by 5. 5 out of 5, maybe? Okay. But thanks. Yeah, this is my new mic. I was telling the guys, it's just a plug and play. So you could go live if you wanted to. I would definitely lend you a camera. And you just plug this into your computer and voila, you have sound. And I think it sounds pretty good. This is the Samson Q9U. So Charles says, I like cats more than gadgets. You know, probably if I had to pick an animal that I was like, I probably would be a cat. Yeah. Because I typically like to be off by myself, but then when I want attention, I come around people and, so I like cats too. I like dogs too. I'm both. Uncle G says, hi Sly, sorry we're late. We were in the middle of a game. I kind of figured that. So I was just telling everybody that you might be inheriting this microphone to up your sound, your audio in your gaming. I think this mic sounds amazing, and it's a plug and play, right? You don't need an audio interface. You don't need all that expensive stuff. I kind of went overboard on my XLR cables, and because that's just how I roll. It annoys a lot of people, I know, but it's just what I do. And the XLR cables are huge. This little microphone, the USB, it does have it has something on it. So I have not tried just a regular USB-C to USB-A, and both of the cords that it came with have that little thing on it. So I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, you just plug this in and plug it in your computer and boom, you're good to go. So I wonder if this would not sound better than the mic on the headset, is what I'm thinking. Charles says, with the Samsung. So yes, I do have the low pass filter turned on, but without the crisp audio, I was getting kind of a hiss. And when I turned the crisp audio on, the hiss went away. So now I will say, I left this thing on for a whole day, and I was getting a little bit of a hiss even with the crisp audio, a little bit of a hum. And so I reset the computer and it went away. So there may be something to that. And there's my little Bretty. I'm here, but I'm at work, so I'm listening and passing. Well, good. I think you're probably cleaning up about now. So thanks for jumping in and saying hey. And Uncle G says, sounds super clear. Right? I'm just amazed that this thing is... I'm going to try out some other USBs, I think. I don't know. I like having my audio interface, and I like playing with the levels and everything. But this thing is amazing. And for people on a budget, Lewis, you can just plug this directly into your computer, right? Your laptop, your like I'm running a Mac Mini with the M1, but you could plug it into a laptop too. So I'm super excited to try it out on a Zoom meeting, but I don't know. I haven't done one of those in quite a while, so I don't know when I'll get a chance to. But yeah, I think this microphone sounds amazing. It sounds totally different than the AT2040, but I think they both sound really good. So I don't want to go back and forth too much, because when you compare one to the other, neither one of them sounds better. They both are about a 9, I think. I think this one might be a little bit clearer, but they both have their place, right? And I do like playing with all the gadgets. Sorry, my throat's getting kind of dry. Hang on. Oh, okay. Just FYI, Samson mics use Shure capsules. Well, maybe that's why it sounds so good. Samson, which is owned by Sam's Music, does not make microphone capsules. That's good to know. I have been looking at one of the Shure microphones. I figure if I'm going to keep doing this, I want to sound the best for you guys, right? So if this is a Shure capsule, I'm in, because I think this thing sounds amazing. And the fact that I didn't have to tweak it. Now, I did spend 2 days tweaking it as an XLR, okay? And I never could get the levels to come out right. I would get the volume right, but the tone would be off, or I'd get the tone set right, but you could barely hear it. And I was chasing my tail. And I even ran it through the booster, and I was still... This mic doesn't really need boosted very much like the AT2040 does, but I even tried it through the booster, and it just made it worse. And so after 2 days of trying and pulling my hair out and this, that, and the other, I was ready to send it back because it just did not sound good at all. And then I plugged it in. I was like blown away. I think Carlos did a live stream maybe on Wednesday, I think. And I was so excited. I wanted to just tell everybody right then. But I don't know. I think this is like the find of the week. So, gee, I don't know what your friends use, but you need to tell Kevin about this one, because it's very affordable. It's $100, right? So, you know, in the land of microphones, that's really kind of on the bottom. I got another mic from Adorama. They put one on sale and sent me a notification, and so I bought it, and it's horrible. It won't even make an honorable mention because it's so bad. And so it'll probably go on Facebook Marketplace. So, you know, I like buying stuff and trying it out. And if I like it, I keep it. And if I don't, then it can go to the wayside, right? Because it's just, this is kind of my hobby, okay? I like cameras. I like microphones. I like all the gadgets and gears. Back in the day, I had the stereo that had the huge receiver that had all the tubes in it and everything. And I had these speakers that stood on the floor and weighed like 100 pounds apiece. And then I had the ones that went up in the corners of the room for surround sound. And, you know, I had all the cassette players and the reel-to-reel and the turntable and all this stuff. And then they came out with stereos that had everything built into one, and I wouldn't go to that because I would get such good sound out of my ginormous unit with the tubes. And I think now they're worth quite a bit of money. Of course, I don't have it anymore. Isn't that the way it always goes? The mic you're using has more presence than the 2040. I have a lot of XLR mics. I don't have a need for a USB mic, but I'm impressed. I don't think you need to buy any more mics. But Scott, you know I must. You know, it's just one of those girl things. Like, okay, so a lot of girls, a friend of Uncle G's wife collects purses. And this lady probably has 80 purses, okay? And she and they're very, very expensive purses. They're like $400 a piece, okay? And so she buys some. Well, she has to sell some of the other ones to buy a new one, right? And so it's just what you do, you know. I'm not into the whole purse thing, but I am into kind of the camera thing and the techie side of things. So, you know, I'm sure I don't know another. I don't have another mic on my list right now, other than I really am kind of liking the Shure mic, but yeah, maybe we'll see. It's on my list, but it's like a maybe. Okay, if they put it on sale, it'd be a definitely. Okay, so it's a maybe. Scott says you can EQ this one to your taste if you need to. So that's the thing about this is you can't really. Okay. I did try it with the XLR through the audio interface, and I for 2 days, I chased it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and was ready to give up on it. And I just, as a whim, I just plugged it to the computer. Now, perhaps with software in the computer, but right now I've just got it on, when you go to your settings and you go to sound, I've just got the volume adjusted. That is it. There is nothing else that I've done to it. Okay. Which that brings up another thing is why do they have 20 if you have to set the volume at 80? Okay. Couldn't they make the preamps just a little bit better so that all you needed was 50? You know, I don't know. That's just me. Hey, John, how you doing, bud? Hi, Sly. Glad to have you here, buddy. I don't think I have seen you in here before. I got my, I don't know if you can see it, but I got my overhead cam. That's the Sony ZV-1 from John. Thank you so much, sir. That camera has come in. It is invaluable. I love that thing. Scott says, I never liked component audio systems. I like the individual components too. Right? It just, I know it's a lot of wires to hook up, and it's a lot more, yeah, you have to be good at hooking wires up, I guess, because even back then, you know, everything took the RCA cables, and I'd have splitters running here and there and everything else, but it was a lot of fun, right? And I always enjoyed, and I have had a blast this week. I've tried out 2 or 3 different microphones, and I've just had a blast doing it. So that's, if it brings you joy, just do it, right? And Carlos says, you must, Sly, right? It's just what I do. It's just, I don't know. I just like buying gadgetry. And Charles says, you're going to need a really big purse to fit all your mics in, right? Well, I have a closet that has all my camera stuff in it, like extras. And somebody asked me the other day, what did they ask me for? And I had an extra. Yeah. So a lot of times if I find something I like, I'll buy 2 or 3 of them, just because I don't think things nowadays are really built to last like they used to be. And if I find something I like these M6s, okay, they've been discontinued. I don't care. I like them, right? So I bought 2. So, and if they put them on sale again, I might get a 3rd one, because I really like them. And I like the lenses for them, and I don't know, they just work for me, okay? John says, looking nice. The mic sounds great too. Nice and clean sound. John, this is a USB mic, dude. I mean, how much simpler can you get? You don't have to have an audio interface, right? You just plug it into the computer and off you go. So I was blown away because my expectations were so low, right? I was ready to send it back, and when I plugged it in, and now this actually has a headphone jack on it, which none of my other stuff does. Okay, I can monitor coming out of the interface, but I cannot monitor coming out of the ATEM, and the interface is running into the ATEM, so I have no way of monitoring that other than doing a little test video, right? And so I did, you know, test after test after test, and for 2 days, and I plugged this thing in, and after hearing it as an XLR mic, my expectations were lower than low, bottom of the barrel. Okay, I just was going to test it out, see how it worked, and I watched the video back, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute! Did I finally get it right, or no? I know I had the thing plugged in," and so yeah, it completely changed my opinion about USB mics. And thank you, Charles, for letting me know that it's a Shure capsule, because I think it does sound pretty amazing. Charles says, just wondering, are you getting all my chats? Because you've skipped 3 of my... Have I really? Hang on, Charles. Let me check. No, buddy, you got a star beside every single one of them. Oh. Maybe I skipped putting them on the screen. That is a possibility. But yes, all of your chats have a star beside them. So I have mentioned them. Like, I'm not sure if I put John up on the screen, but he has a star beside him. So the okay, so I got the one about the really big purse, this one. That has a star beside it. So I think, so of all the ones that I've gotten, yes, I may not have put them on the screen, but I have read them. So that's my bad. I'm still kind of, I wish there was a button off the side that you could just push, but unfortunately not. So in theory, after I put one up, I put a star by it, but I may not have put them all up. Okay, so that's my bad. Sorry, Charles. Scott says, I have a well-stocked mic locker and always end up going back to the same couple of mics, right? Yeah, I have a feeling that's what's going to happen, Scott, but it sure is fun trying out new stuff. Maybe you should spring for a Neumann U87. Can't go wrong with that. You know, I know you're going to make fun of me. I actually watched some videos on that U87, and the guy said that unless you are in a soundproof studio, that they actually, like in a room environment, like I'm just in a room. It is not soundproofed. It is not anything. Okay. It is filled with a lot of junk, but, and it has a lot of computers in it, but it's not soundproofed at all. And he said they actually don't perform as well in, did I put that one up? Okay. My phone just started talking to itself. Well, stop working. Okay. Randy sent me something, but I don't know what he sent me. Randy, what is, never mind. Oh. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so where was I? That was Scott. Okay. So what I was, in researching this, the Neumann U87 is a fantastic mic in a studio, but not so much in a home studio. Okay. So, yeah, I did look at them, Scott. Okay. I wrote 2 on the Rode NT. No, I did not get anything on a Rode, Charles. And I went back and checked, and there was nothing on a Rode. So, no, I did not get those. Okay. Sly, Carlos says, Sly, your live streaming has been really consistent. Well, you know, if you're going to do something, you might as well stick to it, right? I just kind of did this as a test, and it has worked out really, really well. I hugely enjoy seeing you guys, for one thing, right? And, you know, I always feel like on somebody else's stream that it's really hard to talk to you guys, right? So, and I really enjoy talking to you guys. Carlos, your streams are amazing. Your audio sounds superb, right? And I love your backgrounds. So, and I think you're kind of like me. You like equipment, right? Because I saw your setup on one of your streams this week, and you showed kind of what you have and everything. And honestly, when you're starting out, I think you talk to people who have been doing this for a while, and I think you said you've been doing this for a while, and so that's kind of where I went. But I wanted to let people know, Lewis, if you're still awake, that you don't have to have all this gear, right? This microphone, I think, sounds amazing, and that's all you need. Now, you can have, you know, most of the time I talk on this camera. I have 4 cameras set up, right? And I hardly ever go over to this camera, right? Because one of it is proximity, okay? The chat is over here. And so for me to be on this camera, I really have to turn my head to read the chat. Well, the other camera is set right next to the monitor. So it's just the chat is right there, right? So I will if I'm talking to you guys, but typically I stay on one camera. So you do not have to have multiple cameras. You don't have to have an overhead. You don't have to have a belly cam, you know. It's just I just had them, so I put them up and used them. But you don't have to have a camera switcher. You don't, if you use a USB microphone, you don't need an audio interface. And so you can do this on a budget is kind of where I'm trying to get at. Excuse me just a second. All right. Sorry about that. Scott says, yes, you need a very well controlled environment to fully exploit the U87, right? And I don't have that, okay? Nor do I think I want to invest in that. I think this is fine. Most of the time, my videos aren't, I think most of them are shot outside, honestly. I think I've done 1 or 2 in here. And I started out in here. That was the initial thought process, was that I would do review videos inside, and that didn't last very long at all. I'm just more comfortable outside and doing something, okay? So I've done a couple bag reviews in here, I think, and I think the Christmas light video I did the intro in here and maybe the outro, but the rest of it was shot out. So I think that's more my thing. I like getting out and about and doing things. So there's Kyle. How you doing, buddy? I like this camera. Well, thank you. I like this camera too. This one has the shot of Kira's sign in the back, which I absolutely love. So I am doing some merch, I guess. And Kira she made the sign for me for Christmas, and she has been immensely helpful in designing something for t-shirts and hoodies and that kind of thing, because I'm not very good at that, okay? The electrical technical side of things, yeah, but as far as drawing things and what have you, I'm not very creative. So I have enlisted Kira as my official designer, so that's kind of cool. Are those pictures of Grant? You must be talking about these. Grant is in, let me see if I can do this. There's my boy. That's Grant. Okay, and the rest of these, which way do I go? I can't do it. Okay, I should be able to do this. That is my grandson, And that's my grandson. But yes, that's back when the baby was born 3 years ago, and Grant had really, really long hair. So, yeah, I'm not very good at that. But yes, those are pictures of my family. Jacob says, "I like you. I like you too, Jacob." Jacob is one of Grant's very best buds and has been around since, oh my goodness, I think I've known Jacob most of his life. There's a very convoluted family relation there. Not really, but not really, you know, that kind of thing. So Jacob, we consider a cousin. He's an amazing kid, amazing young man. Sly has merch. Well, Sly is getting merch, okay? So I tried to design my own, and it turned out horribly. I got some sweatshirts for me and the kids and what have you, but they did not turn out well, okay? So, and it was not what I was expecting. So I didn't say a word to anybody about it. And Kira has helped me with it's still the fox, okay? But she's kind of done some fun things with it. And so, and then she took the, mine had like a background that I could never get rid of. And apparently there's a way to make it transparent, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. So, yeah, so she's been helping me. We've been kind of working on that a little bit. And I've had a lot of people, my hat, I had a lady make this hat for me. I always have one nearby. My hat with my fox, right? These turned out okay. I mean, I love this, right? This lady made it for me. And so I kind of wanted like a hoodie or something because, you know, I'm a hoodie girl. I love my hoodies. And but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So it was just kind of on the down low. And I kind of, honestly, this has been months ago and I kind of forgot about it. I didn't really forget about it, but it was like on a back burner, right? And then I was just happened to, I think I maybe was wearing one or something. And Kira's like, oh, and I mentioned the background, and she's like, oh, I can take that off for you, no problem. And then she came up with these fantastic designs because she's very, very artistic, right? I never would have thought to make that sign. I mean, I think that is so cool looking, you know, it's just, that's like, it was fun. So yeah, I've had several people when I wear the hat ask where I got it because they like the fox. So, we'll try it. We'll see. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, if just me and my kids have it, that's cool too, right? And I'm definitely going to get one for Kira because she went so much trouble to make new designs, and yeah, and I think they're cool. So, you know, we'll try it. But I don't know what the next microphone will be because I don't really have one in the chute. So I'm not really sure what I'll be doing, but my chats are being deleted by one of the moderators. Just texted again and it got deleted. Have screenshots of it. Okay. Well, I only have one moderator, and that's Peter. So I don't know why he would remove your chats. So I don't know. Maybe I have something set wrong. Yeah, Charles, I don't have any idea. You're better at this than I am. So if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. Maybe it's a setting. The only settings that I know that I have are, I put on the you must be a subscriber to chat. Okay. Then that's to keep out the porn people. And then you can only chat every 30 seconds, which, I mean, I tried, kind of timed it when I was chatting on Peter's, and it takes me that long to type out a chat anyway. So I don't really think that slows down. It slows down the bots, okay? But Charles, if I've got something set wrong, please let me know. Sly, I woke up from my nap. Okay, well, this whole thing has been for you, buddy. So watch the replay, right? Charles says, or your channel is hacked. Okay, that could be a possibility too. I honestly don't know. Is anybody else having a problem? Carlos says, oh, there you are. A couple of mine fell off as well, Charles. Really? Now, you know, Carlos, I did notice that you put a comment on one of my videos. I think it was one of the videos. And it put it in the, there's like, I don't remember what it's called now, but there's like one that just goes right through, and then there's one that has to be approved. And it put it in the must be approved column to where it wouldn't show up immediately on when you commented on one of the videos. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I don't know. And I think it was because you said you nailed it, which you meant as a compliment, but I think YouTube took it as something else. So I did notice that, and maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. I didn't know that in a live the comments could be not seen. So yeah. Lewis says, yay, thank you, Sly. How are you? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, buddy. Yeah, I'm just really wanting to encourage you to start making videos again. And so I was going to send this mic back because as an XLR, I could not get it to sound good, which kind of does now raise the question, because I have been looking at one of the Shure mics, and it is strictly XLR, I think. They might make one that is XLR USB. I'm not 100% sure, but not 100% sure about the Shure, right? But yeah, I tried this thing, and I'll play with it again, you know, but I tried it for 2 days. I got very frustrated and was about to send it back, and then, you know, found out it could be a USB, and it was amazing. So, Lewis, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You have a camera. I don't know if you have a mic. You have a phone, right? You can pick up one of these little mics for your phone for $15 and go wireless. If you want to go live, I know you have that M camera, which will go live fine. You just need a mic, right? So, yes, I know all that, but this is my 4th chat deleted. Okay. Well, Peter, are you deleting Charles's chats? Peter's my only moderator, so I don't know. And Charles, if it is something that I have done on my settings, I do need to know, because, you know, I don't want your all's chat to be deleted. So if you think it's something that I have on my settings messed up, please let me know, and I'll try to fix it. Lewis says, I have to message you, Sly, if you have a chance, please. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Lewis says, very humbled by your belief in me. Thank you so much, Sly. Lewis, you are very, very talented. Okay? The things that I'm talented in are not things that project well in a video. Okay? Like, I can fix anything, but as far as singing and dancing and that kind of thing, yeah, I have zero ability, right? So you're a very, very talented person. And I really enjoyed seeing your videos. So yeah, I hate that you stopped making them. because I kind of looked forward to them. Every time I'd get a notification, I'd be like, "Oh, cool! Let's go look at that." So, yeah, please start making videos again. Okay. I know, John. I don't have a Tesla. If you're still watching, John makes Tesla videos, but they're kind of cool, right? Seeing a car drive by itself is, I don't know. I could see, especially on like long trips. If you're going to, 500 miles away and you've got a long stretch of highway where there's nobody, I could see having a car drive itself would be kind of handy, right? And think about how much scenery you would actually get to act like you were a passenger and actually get to enjoy the view, right? So, all of you guys, I love Carlos's videos. I was a little unsure when he named his Instagram channel something for men. I'm not really sure, but I got over it. And yeah, John's still here. Okay, cool. So all you guys have, John says, yeah, still here. All you guys make really good videos, and our group is so diversified, which I think is what keeps it interesting. I love Charles's videos of Disney World. All right, those are probably my absolute favorite of the ones that he's done, because I feel like I'm there. I'm with him. I'm getting to see it through the lens of the camera, but the sound, his sound quality is so good. And that's another thing. All you guys are really, really good at this. And so that's what I'm aspiring to be, is good like you guys are. I don't think I'm quite there yet. Okay. But that gives me room to grow. Right. And, but Lewis, the thing the whole premise of tonight's show was to tell you, dude, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this. I'm not even using the audio interface, okay? So you don't even have to buy one of those. You just take your camera, put your camera in front of you, and there's several USB mics that I'm looking at. This is kind of on the high end of USB mics because it's an XLR2, but from what the boys tell me, the Razer Siren is a really good mic. I haven't tried it yet, but I probably will try to get one in it if not this week, next week. There's just some, I just don't think you have to spend that much money to do this. Okay. And for you guys, you gamer guys, what mics are you using? And do they sound as good as this one? Because I think this sounds pretty amazing. Okay. For $100. Some of the mics that I have tried are the Rode PodMic, which I think on a man's voice is amazing, but I could never get it to sound good with my voice. The H&A AC50 or 6050, the AC50. So I don't know if the sound quality changed just now because the big computer just shut off. So it got a lot more quiet in here. I'm debating on a second channel. Not sure of the niche yet, though. I love cameras and mics, but also woodworking, so undecided. Okay. I have dabbled in a bit of woodworking myself. I enjoy it. I enjoy it when it is a hobby. Years ago, before I had children, we bought a Shopsmith. I don't remember the model. But anyway, it was one of those things that does it all. It had like a bandsaw and I don't know, it has all these different tools on it and a lathe. And so I started making these wooden pins. Well, some of the doctors at one of the local hospitals saw a set and all his buddies ordered sets. right? And I was making them in all these exotic woods, and it was quite fun until it became a business. And then all of a sudden it was not so much fun when I had to turn out. I think I had to make 60 sets in a month or something. And then all of a sudden it was not quite so much fun. So yeah, I like woodworking too. And John, I think just be you, and people that like you will follow. Okay. Just do what you love. And I think that comes through in the camera, right? So, I would watch it, definitely. Lewis says, oh wow, Sly, you don't need to buy the best mic ever. I don't think you need to buy the most expensive mic, Lewis. I think, and this is just me, everybody's voice is a little bit different. And so, like, Tom Buck actually reviewed this Samson Q9U, right? And it sounded amazing. And I think when he reviewed it, he did it as an XLR, and he made it sound good. On my voice, I could not make it sound good at all. Okay. So I think you need to find the mic that sounds good for your voice. Okay. But, because the pod mic does not sound good on my voice. The H&A, number one, it's huge. It's the mic is like, this mic is big in comparison to, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if you can see these. I don't know if you can see these. Okay, maybe. So this mic is, it's probably, it's from the top, my thumb's on the top, and then this mic is obviously a lot bigger. The H&A it makes this big mic look small, right? And the sound quality is just, it's not good. So on my voice, now it may be great on somebody else's. And I think the pod mic sounds great. Mostly it's men that review it because it sounds great with a male voice. Okay. Not so good with a female voice, but there's that. Scott says things got very, very quiet when the computer shut down. Huge difference. Really? Yeah. Because I noticed it here. When it shuts down, it gets eerily quiet in this room because I'm so used to hearing it. It just, that computer runs all the time. And so when it finally does shut off, it's like, whoa. It's just kind of like background noise that you don't realize you're listening to until it turns off. Sly, I don't want to talk about in my videos anymore. I don't know what to talk about in my videos anymore. Okay, well, your life, right? You live an amazing life. So you have amazing parents. You have an amazing sister. Document your grandma, right? You go to see her every day. Document that. People enjoy getting a little glimpse into somebody else's life, right? And I do. I enjoy watching videos where I watch these, about 3 people in particular, and it's not so much about the content they're creating as it's about them, okay? How are they doing? Are they well? Are they enjoying what they're doing? That's the main thing. Just video yourself enjoying what you enjoy. So, Carlos says, just made some great lighting from cake pans and LED strips, creative and affordable. Carlos, this sign that Kira made, right here, is a piece of tin with 2 2x4s hot glued to the back of it and LED light strips wrapped around it. That's all it is. And then I think she had a Cricut machine and she made the fox in my name. And I absolutely adore it. That is like the best Christmas gift ever. And it was homemade, right? Who knew? Lewis says, this mic sounds remarkable. I think it does really, really well. I was blown away Like, I probably should have recorded it because my expectations were really, really low. And I watched the video back and I'm like, what? Wait a minute. And I was so excited, I even sent it to my son and I'm like, you've got to listen to this. This is remarkable. You guys were 100% right. My children have taught me so much that, they are so with it. And they continue my education. And I'm just, I'm blown away. And it wasn't just my son who came up with the USB mics. It was, I asked or was talking to this with some 20-year-olds at work. And, they all use USB mics, right? That's kind of like the thing. I didn't know that was a thing, right? To me, a USB mic is something that you've stayed far, far, far away from. And Lewis says, oh, that's the secret. Okay, find the mic that complements you. Yes. Now, you can start out by, if you find someone whose voice is about the same timbre as yours, find a mic that they like. Okay. Now, I just like testing out mics. Okay. If I buy them off Amazon, I don't like them, I can always send them back. Some of these that I've bought lately have not been, and so I'll just resell them on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, it's just not, it's not a thing. And if they don't sell, that's fine too. They can go in the closet, But this one I think sounds amazing. I like the AT2040. I still think it sounds really good when you don't compare it to this one. Carlos had a wonderful example of that. He had a microphone, and I cannot remember the name of it, Carlos, the one that's above you. And that thing sounded great until he compared it to the Shure. And then it's like, okay, well, yeah, the Shure obviously sounds better, but that's like a $400 microphone, right? So I don't think that's 100% necessary. The other mic sounded great. I think the AT2040 sounds great. It sounds very different than this microphone, but I think it does sound pretty good. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Lewis says, my life has been a bit of a curveball, and I don't want to depress my audience. Does that make sense? Lewis, I hate to say this, but I have been around for a minute, and the curveballs are what make you interesting. Okay? If everybody's life was all sunshine and roses, how dull would you be? Okay? The curveballs that life throws you and how you react to those and how you handle those are what makes you interesting. Okay? Anybody can be happy on a sunny day. Okay? But how you react to the stormy weather says more about you than how you react to the sunshine. Okay? So don't think that just because life's thrown you some curveballs that people don't want to see that. You are a very positive person, and your positivity comes out in your videos. So it doesn't matter if you're having a bad week or if if your funds are pretty tight right now, that's okay. You already have a camera. So, and I'm sure if you want to use your cell phone, this little mic that costs $15 really improves the audio on a cell phone. So it doesn't cost a lot of money, and it's okay to have, if things don't always go right. Believe me, I am probably, my kids tease me all the time about, well, if I say a job's going to take 2 hours, you might as well just give it 8. Just quadruple anything I think it's going to take. It's going to take about 4 times that long. And that's okay. I did a plumbing job about a year ago, and that was one of the happiest days that I remember. And not everything went right. The very first thing, when I get out on the job, the first thing you do is you put shut-off valves on. Okay, so you can turn the water on for the rest of the building, but keep the water off where you are. So the very first thing you do is put shut-off valves on. So I get to the job, I unload everything, I get up, and we have to carry everything upstairs, right? I get up there, and lo and behold, the place I had bought everything from forgot the shut-off valves. Very first thing, right? But I am in such a good mood, it didn't matter. So I told the people, I said, hey, I'll be back. They forgot shut-off valves, you know. I'll be back in about, it's like a 30, 45-minute drive to town. I'll be back. And as I'm driving to get them, I could have been upset that they forgot something, okay, and it's going to make the job last longer because now I had to go back to town to get them. But it was a beautiful day, and I was out driving. I was by myself. There was no pressure on me whatsoever. So not everything went right, but my attitude was, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to enjoy it anyway. And so, you know, that job took longer because I had to go get parts. I think I had to go get parts twice. But it was a fantastic day. And I still remember it as being a really good day. So it doesn't matter if everything doesn't go the way it's supposed to. It's how you perceive it. And Lewis, you're very positive, and I think people want to see that. And he says, ooh, I always thought XLR was the way. Me too, Lewis. And that is because the people that I have learned from, they use XLRs, okay? And my own personal experience with USBs was not good. So, but that was, back in the 80s, right? So, hello, 2023. Lewis says, Sly, you're so smart. Okay, find the one who has a similar sound. Okay, I will give it a chance. Yes, please do. I have the Shure SM58. What? You have a fine microphone. You don't need another one, right? The SM58, I think Peter has an SM58. I bought my daughter an SM58. They sound remarkable. Now, I will say, on my daughter's, you have to be like right up on the thing, okay? But that's okay. That you've already got the equipment, so you're good. And Lewis says, you're right about that. Still trying to figure it out, Sly. Yeah, well, it's life is a learning curve, right? Lewis says, wow, Sly, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah, I'm just full of surprises. Carlos says, don't let the shutoff valves get in your way, Lewis. Right? Right? I really like that 10 more reps, Carlos, because, sometimes you just feel like I've tried. Okay? I tried. I wasn't good at it, so I'm not going to try any harder. And sometimes if you just go that little extra, something will click and all of a sudden you will become good at it, right? And if you hadn't done that 10 more reps, you might not have gotten there. So, but I like that. Yeah, don't let the shutoff valves get in your way, Lewis. Lewis says, even though things aren't what you wanted and it's hard, it's smiling in the future. We woke up today, and every day you wake up is a beautiful day. Not everyone does. There are so many negative people that when a positive person comes on the scene, it's like, wow, what was it? My mother used to call them Pollyannas, right? And my mother was not probably the most positive person, okay? She had a lot of strife in her life. And as an adult now that she's gone, actually I realized it about 7 months before she passed. She had a very, very hard life from her perspective, okay? And she chose to make it a hard life, kind of a woe is me type thing. So I have always had a positive outlook. I have not always had things go my way, okay? But I've always tried to have a positive outlook that even if things are not going my way at the moment, it'll turn back around, right? It's like I'm in style every 20 years. It always comes back around. And Crip says, I loved my Blue Yeti. Okay, so what do you think of this Samson? G was telling me that you are like the audio expert, right? So what do you think of this Samson? I think it sounds pretty good. Scott says, my brain needs a shut-off valve at bedtime. Yeah, I really, I've never had any problem. If I get horizontal, I'm out, right? Now, I may only sleep for an hour or two, but, and I have to consciously not pick up my phone. Because if I pick up my phone, I'm going to be up for an hour or two, right? So I have to consciously leave it down, leave the light off, and I will go back to sleep. But and then sometimes I go to sleep and I'll sleep for 6 hours, and we had an earthquake the other day, and I slept through the whole thing, right? Woke everybody else up, my sister-in-law, my daughter, it woke everybody up, and I slept through the whole thing. Didn't even know what happened. So I just upgraded to an XLR mic. Which one did you get? Because, I'm always on the lookout. So G was telling me that you are kind of an audio, what do you call it? Proficiendo or something. And so I would love to talk mics with you because I believe Crip is one of the gamers. Okay. So if he just upgraded to an XLR, I would love to know which one he has. Lewis says, I guess it's tough because people never show the bitter. They only show off the sweet. Well, Lewis, that's not true. One of the ladies that I follow was in a car accident, and she is a quadriplegic. She can't move her arms or legs. Okay. But she has the most positive outlook on life, and you're blessed. You've got gifts from God, and yeah, you're an amazing young man. So, and she's got like thousands and thousands of people that follow her, and it is not all sunshine and roses. Trust me. She goes through a lot of ups and downs, and she was born as healthy as you and I, and a car wreck damaged her spine, and so she's had to make a life as a quadriplegic. So, yeah. So people want to see you, okay, the good and the bad. Carlos says, I share about my darker self all the time, Lewis, but talk more about what I'm doing about it, right? Yeah, I think everybody has those dark moments, and that's okay. I certainly have mine, and it's okay. I don't wallow very much in them because I don't like that place, okay? I would much rather think about the positive and be in, I just choose to be happy, okay? So, but everybody has dark moments, has dark thoughts, and that's fine. Let a little bit of that shine through, okay? Let people see just a little bit of that side of you. But I think on the whole, Lewis, you're very positive. So, and Lewis says, oh yeah, I like that perspective, right? Yeah, it's all about, just, I want to see you, Lewis, okay? I've seen your videos. And so even if things have changed since that in your life, that's okay, because you're still you, bud. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky, I've been told before. Well, you can try to avoid it, bud, but it's still going to find you, okay? There are still times when you're not going to be happy, and there's still times where things are not going to go your way. That's just life. But how you deal with it says a lot about you. And Carlos says, acknowledging our pain is okay. Wallowing in it is bad. I think I just said that. Yes. So on that note, guys, We have gone like way over on time, and I'm glad nobody is coming on behind me because, yeah, I would have walked all over them. But thank you all so very much for coming in, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter. I'm going to probably spend it with my son. I think my daughter is working on Easter, so yeah, I'll probably get together with family. But guys, I appreciate you so much for being here. You make my Friday night, right? I would much rather hang out with you guys than anybody else. So, and Lewis says, "Oh, so it's okay to not be okay, but don't sit there." Exactly. That's 100% it, right? Sit there, get up and do something about it. Okay. If you don't have any extra money to buy new gear, it's okay. The gear you have is good. That M camera is perfectly fine. What cell phone do you have now? Because your cell phone is perfectly fine. Carlos even showed on his live stream this week, he switched over to and was using his cell phone. Now, did it look as good as his camera? No, it didn't. Okay, but if he hadn't compared the two, would anybody have thought nothing? They would have thought nothing. Okay, if he had just used his cell phone, it was good enough. So, Lewis, it's good enough. Just get out there and do something, buddy. And Carlos says, "Right, Lewis. See, you got it." And Lewis is thanking Carlos or me or whoever. He's thanking somebody. And there's Gary. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks, Gary, for coming in. You guys, you just all make my night. Thank you so very much. And I will see everybody next Friday, 10:30. I really kind of like this time slot. And hopefully my tongue will have healed by then, so I won't be talking like I've got mush mouth. But I appreciate you guys so very much. Thanks for making my week. And happy Easter, and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.